Hello all you rad people and welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to be talking about the settings that I used when I had my GoPro Hero 7 for mountain biking. I've moved on to the Hero 8, but I know there's a lot of people still using the Hero 7 and I wanted to share the settings that I used to use. All right everyone, so let's talk about the resolution. I would shoot in 4K and because I always wanted to have the highest quality video possible to upload. That may not be what you need. That may not be what you want to do. 1080 may be good enough for most people, and that's perfectly fine. If you're just going to be putting it up to Instagram, 1080 is more than enough. Let's talk about aspect ratio. Well, honestly, there's nothing to talk about because you only use 16:9. Do not use 4:3. There's only one reason you use 4:3, and if you're not already know that, you don't need to use it. Okay, I'll tell you. So what some people would do, let's say this is a 4:3 video. What you do is you get more on the top and more on the bottom. So what you would do is you would actually crop it down to a 16:9. So you would actually go here to here. And that allowed you to actually choose what part of the 4:3 you wanted to use. And honestly, that's too much work. So just use 16:9. Okay, so now let's get on to the lenses options. So you can do wide, linear, and super view. For 99% of the stuff that you're going to do, it's going to be super view. Just the wide angle of it is just perfect for point of view footage. Now that does come with a cost. So when you are using 4K and you're using super view, you are limited to 24 frames per second. So you can't do 30, you can't do 60, but you know what, that's okay, because 24 is very cinematic. It looks great, and that's what I used to use all the time, so that's fine. Hypersmooth, on. No questions asked. You just want it on. It makes the footage look amazing. You bought a Hero 7 because of Hypersmooth. Hero 7 Black, for that matter. Protune. So with Protune, it's gonna matter on whether or not you're gonna take the time to edit your video. If you are going to bring in your video and edit it together, and you're actually going to look at where your highlights are, where your shadows are, your sharpness, your color, if you're doing that, go with Protune. It makes a world of difference. Shutter speed, just automatic. You can set it manually, but honestly, let it do its thing. It's smart. Use automatic. EV comp. Now this is very important. You want to have it set to -1, and the reason for that is it's going to allow you to retain your highlights more. And as you can see, here's an example. So I'm actually going to bring down this video right now, 1 stop. You can see how much darker it is, but because of that, you're retaining so much more information. When you go to upload, you're retaining your highlights, you're not blowing them out. It's harder to retain your highlights than it is to retain your shadows. So if you bring your highlights down, you can retain those and you're not gonna lose the details in your shadows. White balance. I just use auto, to be honest with you. You can set manually to daylight, to cloudy, but honestly, just leave it auto. There's only been a handful of times where I've noticed it automatically change during a video, and that's very far and few between. ISO minimum, 100% all day long. You only want to use ISO 100 because you want the cleanest image possible. If you go up higher than that, you're going to introduce noise. And you may not notice the difference at certain higher levels, but you want it as low as possible. So now let's talk about the max. 1600 is a good place to start. You can go lower, but honestly, I think at 1600, it still looks very clean. So if you are going into a foresty area where it's darker, you need that 1600. Hell, you might even need more than that. You might need the 6400, especially if you're doing like some night riding. You're gonna want it that high. Sharpness. Because I'm editing after the fact and I want to be in control of the way the footage looks, I use low sharpness so I can go in and add it back in after the fact. Now, if you're just gonna upload it straight to YouTube, straight to Instagram, you're not gonna touch it. Just go with like a medium sharpness. Something high is too much. It just doesn't look right. Go with medium. If you're gonna be editing it and you really wanna make sure that it looks good, go with low. Color. So now we were talking about how we want to have the cleanest image possible. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna select flat. And with that, it's gonna make it look very washed out, very black and whitish. It doesn't pop. And it's supposed to be like that because you're going to be coming in and you're going to be adding in that after the fact. Now, if you're, like I say, if you're going to Instagram, if you're going to YouTube without even touching it, go with the GoPro Color. But for anyone who actually is going to spend the time to make it look better, then go with the flat. Raw audio, just leave it off. Don't even mess with it, to be honest with you. I've played around with it in the past, and it's complicated, and I never really got anything extra out of it. Wind setting. Now, this is a huge one. Audio is the most important thing about video. Think about it. If my audio sounded terrible, you wouldn't watch this, period. No matter how good the information was or how good the writing was. So by having good audio, you want to make sure that you keep it good. So you're going to leave it in stereo. You're not going to put it in wind. And the way you combat the wind is with one of these. This is a foam windscreen that goes over the GoPro Hero 7. Well, this one's for the 8, but the 7 is the same thing basically. So this goes on and it reduces the wind noise significantly. It makes the audio sound really, really good. So if you care about your audio, pick up one of these. A 2-pack is like $8 or $10. It's nothing for what you get out of it. It's very important to have this. Well, all, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope this information helped you. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. If this video helped you, if you liked it, hit the like button. Please don't forget to subscribe. It means the world to me. This is how the channel grows, is when you guys subscribe. Well, all you rad people, this is the MTB Rad Dad signing off, and I'll see you next time.